Hello, I'm Odysseus Semple, a third-year student of the University of Guyana Social Work degree program. My colleagues and I are tasked with the assignment to conduct an investigation to determine the relationship between single parenting and its contribution to dysfunctional families. This video presentation, a product of that investigation, is a course requirement of the DSW 321 Advanced Social Work Practice 2. The content of the video is based on single parenting and its contribution to dysfunction in the family. In an attempt to answer the question of how single parenting contributes to dysfunction in the family, the researchers conduct a research study with a target sample of 25 respondents, mostly taken from the Charlestown community. In addition, informative interviews were done with professionals to garner their opinions on the issues and what they have observed in their professional practice as it relates to trends common to the single-parent family unit. Information was also gathered from ordinary people in the street who gave their views about single parenting. The findings of these studies, along with what the researchers have concluded, will be presented.
Research is intended to achieve the following objectives. To investigate some dysfunctional patterns within the single-parent family structure with a focus on children. To identify the level of supervision given to children in single-parent homes. To assess the impact the absence of one parent may have on the proper functioning of the family. To gather information on some of the challenges faced by single parents, and finally, to provide recommendations on the kinds of intervention that can be used to help single parents effectively manage the household.
This video will cover the following areas. There will be footage of the interviews with professionals from Ministry of Human Services and Red Thread. Following the interviews, there will be students' comments. The man in the street interview will be presented, highlighting person's view on single parenting. The interviews with single parents from Charlestown will be shown. Finally, the analysis of the data will be presented, along with the findings, conclusions, and recommendations. From working at this organization, do you think that single-parent families are on the rise in Guyana?
I should think so. Yes, it's assumption. They are on the rise. Simply because of unemployment. And at first, when we consider the idea of who we term single parent as such, now we must first look at the salary threshold, which stand at $40,000. Right? Now, having considered that, we must look at that individual who may have two or more siblings or two or more individuals to address, right? And whether that person has any other additional income to supplement maintenance as such. If that is the case, the consideration that that individual should be able to manage, but once that person is earning under $40,000, I would simply say that person is on the poverty line. Right?
How do you view single-parent family structures as opposed to other family structure as it relates to like bringing up children?
It's a very, very difficult task. Now, if, let us say, a particular individual is considered as a single parent, you have things like snapping becomes hard, where that individual, right, would sometimes lose the cool because of the fact that they're not having enough finance coming into the family, right? They respond to the children is a lot different than that of family where both husband and wife are contributing towards the development of the family there.
And from being here, how many years have you been working at this ministry?
About 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think that this is something that we can work with, like, you know, helping families? Your ministry providing any form of assistance? I know you have a lot of programs going on. Maybe you can
Yes,
tell us
yes.
some.
So true. We at this ministry are faced with the responsibility of trying to create the change for a particular family. Now, just of late we have the WOW program on stream where finance without any collateral is given. Once we able to highlight that the particular person may have been involved in some economic venture, right? Maybe let us look at it this way. It's a form of rehabilitating the person or the individual, in the sense that, let us say you were seamstress, but you lack the capital to invest, right? Our ministry responsibility in that sense is that we provide the machine for you. Or you may have a machine, but you don't have cash to buy the raw materials to sew the clothing, right? We provide the fund in that sense, and we incorporate this, the individual in a system where they can now prepare school clothing, right? They can even, we have it so structured that a check is issued, and then say they take the materials from Guyana store, they can sell back the school clothing to Guyana store. You see the interrelation there. You understand? And that in itself is a plus, not only for the individual, but for the business that come on board to assist in that venture.
Do you consider the single-parent family structure as healthy for the effective upbringing of children?
And effective, because take for instance now, we have situation where the child, because of a single parent, there is no, what I must say, because of the absence of either the male or the female individual in the family. Let's say the single parent might have been a male or female, right? The problem there is that we recognize that there is no role model because of the fact that the father might have been absent, and to an extent where the child can lose their identity, right? Now, we have to interface with not only the economic challenges that the single parents are faced with in that sense, right? There's also children need to find that the demand with their economic, with their curricular activity at school, they're not able to contribute because of the fact that they're not getting the kind of assistance that is required in the home. You understand? Once there's two individuals, you understand, if mommy is assisting with the chores, right? That can spend some time with the child in terms of ensuring that whether it's homework or whatever contribution that he can give becomes harder.
Report most cases of juvenile delinquency within your organization.
All right, I can speak for my particular department and my experience as a professional social worker. We found that female-headed single-parent households contribute alarmingly to dysfunctional families. And I say that because a recent study that was done by UNICEF at the New Opportunity Corps shows that over 90% of the young people that are incarcerated there comes from female-headed single-parent households. This, in my opinion, comes from many different things, and one of the most glaring ones being the fact that most of our women are in the security sector. And we know that when they're in the security sector, They work 12-hour shifts. They work nights. So their children comes home most times unsupervised, and we know that when young people, teenage persons and so on, are left unsupervised, they make decisions that are not always in their best interests. In addition to that, friends become their primary source of advice or the path that they're going to take because of the non-existence of their both parents or even one. In addition to that, young men need strong male personalities in their life. It may not be their biological father, but research has shown that when you have a strong male figure in your life, you tend to, as it were, walk the straight and narrow.
Okay, I think that will tie into my next question, which is, do you consider single-parent family structures as healthy for effective upbringing? That would tie in what you said.
Oh yeah, but let me go a little bit further by saying any family that, whether it's male or female, once it's single parent and there's the absence of both parents, it's unhealthy for any child. It is unhealthy because we need to be rounded. We need, as children, we need to have both parents. We need to understand. Girls need to be able to relate to men, and from very young, they're able to do that because of the father figures in their lives and in their homes. And so they're not able to effectively deal and communicate with men if there's that absence. And so that is setting the stage for unhealthy relationships later on. And vice versa for the young men. If there's no proper authority figure that is male, they wouldn't be able to relate to this positive influence in their lives. So it's unhelpful either way.
Okay, so what I'm gathering is that single parents do contribute to dysfunctional families.
Absolutely. In my professional opinion, single parent families is one of the most significant factors of dysfunctional families in Guyana at this point.
Thank you very much for your time, and your insight was very helpful as related to our